blog entry for the night of the 16th of December of 2014. Just came back from Cuernavaca, my Christmas shopping. I got wrap presents and all that good stuff. And I put my Christmas tree, and that's what I'm going to show you next. Wake and bake is an interesting thing for me. Going out in the streets and everything kind of reminds me of when I first came to Mexico. But different. So different. It's all the same, it's all different. When I first came to Mexico, I had intentions of conquering the world. After a very healing time with my mother and my sister, my nieces and nephews, I came to the conclusion that conquering the world is not the most intelligent thing one could try to do in one's life. The funny thing about that, kind of weird thing about it, I've often had call it a nightmare, that I was somehow lost in the dark side of the moon and everything around me was a kind of like a holodeck illusion type. But the people around me were actually beings already liberated from ego nonsense, judging me for the lower part of my ego, the dark side. That's why it's the dark side of the moon. This nightmare, I guess you can call it, comes from a speech by a brujo in Saltillo, Coahuila. Amag was his name, and he was giving a speech up at the center, Popo Rispes, Avemed, up there in Saltillo, Coahuila. And he said something which kind of stuck with me for many years, still sticks with me in a sense. He said, really evil spirits, souls, go to the dark side of the moon, where everything they wish happens. And their own evilness, their own darkness, their own dark side wins the best of them and destroys this fake world they have created on their own, out of their own mind. Well, that stuck with me. That really, because sometimes, I look around and I'm thinking, is everything around me just a huge, massive, holographic illusion? The people, things, the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, the birds, the trees, the clouds. Imagine that I could be in a bubble. I walk out down the stairs. The bubble stays the same, but the scenery changes according to what I am thinking. The idea of a holodeck. The reality itself is just centered around me and my ability to experience it through my five senses. Well, that's right there with the dark side of the moon thing that Ahmad was saying. Now, folks that want to conquer the world, they come to these conclusions on their own. I certainly have. That's why conquering the world is not my interest at all. But here's the tricky side. If I don't conquer the world, what if the world conquers itself to me? What if this dark side of the moon thing is kind of my worst nightmares coming true type thing? By the way, my worst nightmares have always dealt with zombies. Zombies are just the monster that appears to me in my nightmares since a very early age. I had other nightmares as a child. There were other interesting nightmares, but the zombie from my adolescence on up has been the recurring theme in my nightmares. So, Ebola, swine, the flus, everything, all these things, the Bible, the dead shall rise, part of the Bible, and apocalypse, and all those things take me to this zombie land apocalypse, zombie apocalypse thing, which in my nightmares I always survive it. That's the problem, you see. Who the fuck would want to survive a zombie apocalypse? Makes no sense. Somebody doesn't want to turn into a zombie, obviously. Now, why am I in this dark mood telling you these dark things? Because now we're gonna. Oh, but I was going to. My camera got smashed. I threw up my hand and it fell and it smashed. So the only camera that I have now is the one on my laptop, which I'll continue to do blogs and music with. It's not a problem. But I can't photograph outside as easily because I'm not going to risk my laptop as a camera. I'll try to fix the camera soon, but no guarantees that I will be able to. So for a while, I won't be able to film. And it's funny because I was actually really getting into the idea of filming this Prahlad project, which I have right here. I think 2015 is all about Prahlad. Here's the script. It's a good script. I like it. I've had it now for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe. Been wanting to make this movie for a long time. I think 2015 is a good time to make it. Now, why a movie? Because a movie is still art. It's a form of art. It's not political activism. It's not guerrilla warfare. It's not trying to change things. Things will change. You can be guaranteed of that. They always do. But if you put yourself in the position like Arjuna and Krishna, smack in the middle of the two armies, nothing good can come out of that, can there? So it's better to just make a movie. My thoughts. On the other hand, there's a zombie apocalypse. I suspect I'll do whatever I can to survive, but it will not be a pleasant thing. And it won't be a fun thing, and it's a hell of a thing to have nightmares about. Okay, let's go take a look at my Christmas tree now.